Everybody thought they had survived the storm. After the prison sentences, after the cheating rumors, after the fake wedding reveal, after the tears on national television, people really believed that maybe, just maybe, this time it would be different. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. The same man who once said, "It's supposed to be forever," is now revealing why he walked away. And baby, it wasn't just about stress. It wasn't just about arguments. It wasn't even about the cameras. According to whispers in the streets and what he's now admitting behind closed doors, Mendeecees didn't just fall out of love. He fell head over heels for somebody else. Erika. Yes, that Erika. And when that truth started slipping out, it shook everything people thought they knew about their marriage. Because for years, we watched them fight to stay together. We watched Yandi defend him. We watched her ride for him when the world dragged him. So what changed? How does a love story that survived prison and public humiliation end because of another woman? Let's take it back. When Mendeecees and Yandi first came onto our screens on Love and Hip Hop New York, their chemistry felt real. It didn't look staged, it didn't feel forced. Yandi wasn't just some random girlfriend. She was building, grinding, handling business. She believed in him, she supported him, she stood beside him. But from day one, there were cracks. Erika was already in the picture, not as a stranger, not as a rumor, as his ex, the mother of his child, a woman who shared history with him long before Yandi came around. And let's be honest, history like that doesn't just disappear. At first, Yandi tried to brush it off. She wanted to believe she was the main woman, the future wife, the one he chose. But every time Erika's name came up, tension followed. Every time there was a conversation about co-parenting, it turned into something deeper. Because feelings don't always die just because a relationship ends. While Yandi was planning weddings and talking about forever, Mendeecees was juggling past and present. And when he got sentenced and had to serve time, everything shifted. Prison changes people. Sitting in a cell gives you too much time to think, too much time to replay old memories, too much time to question whether you chose the right path. And that's when things allegedly started to resurface. Phone calls, messages, conversations that were supposed to be about their child, but slowly became something more. Familiar laughs, inside jokes, the kind of comfort you only have with someone who knew you before fame, before cameras, before pressure. But nobody expected what would happen next. When Mendeecees came home, fans expected fireworks, the good kind, a fresh start, a stronger marriage, a united front. Instead, what they saw was distance. Yandi was building her career, making political moves, stepping into leadership roles. She was growing, expanding, becoming bigger than just somebody's wife. And sometimes growth can threaten people who feel stuck. But here's where it gets complicated. According to what Mendeecees has now revealed, he didn't leave just because of arguments or feeling overshadowed. He says something inside him never fully closed the chapter with Erika. Imagine that. Years of marriage, years of defending him on TV, years of holding down the household, and all along, a piece of his heart was still somewhere else. He reportedly admitted that being around Erika again for birthdays, school events, family gatherings reminded him of who he used to be. Not the reality star, not the ex-inmate, just a man, a father, a younger version of himself.
And that familiarity hit different. What nobody expected was how fast those old emotions came back. At first, it was subtle. Lingering conversations, extra smiles, standing a little too close at events. People noticed. The cameras noticed. The fans definitely noticed. But Yandi, she tried to ignore it. Because when you've invested that much into a man, you don't want to believe he's drifting. Then came the breaking point. Behind the scenes, the arguments got louder, the distance got wider, and the trust, it was hanging by a thread. Mendeecees reportedly confessed that he felt torn for a long time. He said he cared about Yandi deeply, respected her, appreciated everything she did. But love, the kind that makes your chest tighten when someone walks in the room, he said that spark felt different when Erika was around. And that's the part that hurt the most. Because Yandi didn't lose him to some random woman, she lost him to someone who was always there. Someone tied to him forever through a child. Someone who shared a past she could never compete with. Sources say when the truth finally came out, it wasn't explosive. It was quiet, heavy, the kind of silence that feels louder than screaming. He told her he was confused. He told her he didn't want to keep pretending. He told her his heart wasn't fully in the marriage anymore. And Yandi, she reportedly asked the one question nobody wants to ask. Is there someone else? And when he didn't answer right away, she already knew. That hesitation said everything. Now here's where the streets really started talking. Some say Erika never stopped loving him. Some say she waited patiently. Some say she simply focused on co-parenting and the feelings grew naturally again. But whatever the truth is, what's clear is that Mendeecees didn't just drift back casually. He fell hard. Friends close to the situation claim he started spending more time around her under the excuse of being present for their child. But it wasn't just about parenting anymore. It was dinners after school events, long talks in the car, late-night calls that had nothing to do with homework. And when feelings start growing in secret, guilt follows. That's when the marriage truly began to crack. Yandi reportedly felt the shift, the coldness, the emotional absence. He was physically there, but mentally somewhere else. And let's not forget, this is a woman who held him down through prison, who defended him against critics, who blended families and carried the weight of public judgment. So when he finally admitted he couldn't ignore his feelings anymore, it wasn't just a breakup. It was betrayal layered with history. Mendeecees revealed that divorcing Yandi wasn't about disrespect. He claims he didn't want to keep living a lie. He didn't want to wake up every day pretending his heart wasn't pulling him somewhere else. But let's be real. When you choose another woman over your wife, no matter how you dress it up, it hurts. And the fans, they're divided. Some say he followed his heart. Others say he played in Yandi's face for years. Some argue that if he still loved Erika, he should have never married Yandi in the first place. But what nobody can deny is this. Love triangles with shared children are messy. They're emotional. They're complicated. And sometimes the person who looks strong on the outside is breaking on the inside. For Yandi, this wasn't just a failed marriage. It was the collapse of something she fought publicly to protect. It was the realization that loyalty doesn't always guarantee forever. Imagine building a life with someone only to find out their heart was split the whole time. Imagine defending a man against the world only to realize you were competing with memories. That kind of pain doesn't show up immediately. It settles in slowly. People close to her say she went quiet, focused on her kids, focused on business, focused on not letting the world see her unravel. Because when you've always been the strong one, you don't get the luxury of falling apart publicly. Meanwhile, Mendeecees is reportedly trying to move forward openly. No more hiding, no more pretending. But here's the thing about choices. They come with consequences. Relationships built from old flames can feel magical at first, familiar, comfortable, but they also carry unresolved history. And history has a way of repeating itself if lessons aren't learned. So the question now is, will this new chapter with Erika last? Or will it become another story people dissect years from now? Only time will tell. What we do know is this: love is complicated, loyalty is fragile, and sometimes the person you think is your forever was only your season. Mendeecees says he followed his heart. Yandi is choosing peace. And somewhere in the middle of all that are children, memories, and years that can't be erased. At the end of the day, this isn't just about reality TV drama. It's about real emotions, real choices, real consequences. Because when you fall head over heels for someone else while you're still married, somebody's heart is going to break. And this time, it wasn't just a storyline. It was real life. But let me ask you something. Was this destiny finally correcting itself? Or was it a mistake that will cost more than he realizes? Either way, one thing is clear. The love triangle that started years ago never truly ended. It just waited for the right moment to explode.